Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler, along with meteorologist Brad Anderson in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Brad, you were so eager to get on here and talk about the severe weather threat that I didn't even have time to do my hair. So it's a little all over the place right now.
Well, that happens. I mean, actually, I didn't really notice a difference. But yes, it's things have kind of upgraded to maybe more of a severe weather event, at least for southeast Nebraska later this afternoon. So we'll talk more about that in just a little bit.
Yeah, yesterday when we had kind of brought you the update, it was a slight risk for the day today, but
that's right.
Things have kind of, like you said, gone up a notch just a little bit. So we'll kind of go through what we can expect here over the next few minutes. Really quickly, though, just kind of running through some of the temperatures. Again, cold fronts kind of cut across the state, right on the doorstep for us here in Lincoln, so you can see temperatures a little bit cooler as you head further to the west. It's 40s, 50s, 60s, and some 70s for Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska. One of the things we talked about yesterday, Brad, was a lack of moisture at the surface for storms. Still got storms going, but with this go-around, we've seen those dew points even higher out ahead of that front, so more fuel for those thunderstorms to work with.
Yeah, it was in Lincoln, it was a very warm, I would say somewhat humid morning for the first time this year. It felt more like maybe a June morning with the temperatures in the upper 60s earlier. So we do have the moisture in the air now, and that should be able to feed some of these thunderstorms later this afternoon and this evening.
Yeah, so look at those dew points right now, upper 50s in Lincoln, low 60s in some spots. So again, maybe feeling just a bit muggy out there, and you can see winds. Again, still out of the south for Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska, so we're still right ahead of that front, but just barely.
Yeah, I mean, just to the west, even looking at the visible satellite earlier, I saw that there were low-level clouds moving from north to south, indicating that that frontal boundary is just the west of Lincoln. Now, it certainly could stall out or not really move that much further to the east over the next few hours, still allowing for the warm, moist air, the unstable air out ahead of the front for Lincoln and Beatrice, and we still have that chance, of course, for the severe thunderstorms this afternoon and this evening.
So, all of that said, we'll get to the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for the day today. Again, yesterday we had just a slight risk, but we have had an enhanced risk added. So again, that's kind of 3 out of 5. So again, we're kind of talking in the middle of the threat categories here. Anything higher than an enhanced risk, and you're talking a potential severe weather outbreak. But again, slight and enhanced, we're talking scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms being possible. It's one of those where this is kind of our threshold. Once we see an enhanced risk, we're going to issue a weather alert day because we think things could be pretty busy tonight.
That's right. I mean, this is where you could potentially start to see, supercells, thunderstorms that produce, 3-inch size diameter hail or larger, damaging winds, of course. And this is where we also start to talk about maybe a little better chance of tornadoes. Yesterday, that those weren't tornadic storms. The tornado risk was very low. But now we're starting to see it creep up a little bit for southeast Nebraska. And again, you'll notice Lincoln is kind of right on the edge of this enhanced area. Lincoln kind of down towards Wilbur and Jefferson, and then eastward. This is probably the best chance to see some of the strongest thunderstorms and perhaps a few isolated tornadoes as well in this part of the state. Now, this was the 8 o'clock update, which we got the enhanced, and usually the Storm Prediction Center sends something out in the next half an hour or so, or any time now, so we'll see if anything changes, and I'll certainly have an update at noon on if anything has changed, as where the biggest severe thunderstorms or the greatest severe thunderstorm chances are this afternoon.
And this is similar to what we dealt with last Friday.
Yeah.
And then I think, a lot of our storms are probably going to be popping up along a line, along that cold front, kind of almost from that line that was where we see the enhanced risk, from that Omaha kind of down towards Lincoln, down towards Fairbury. And then, initially they could be a little rumbly and on the strong side, but I think they'll, gain intensity as they push to the east and southeast, further into southeastern Nebraska. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. Here's a look at the tornado probability for the day today. Again, 2% in green, 5% in brown. Again, so yesterday we talked about the tornado threat being very low. Today is kind of just low, maybe on the high end of low.
Maybe low to medium for southeast Nebraska, as we start to see maybe a little better chance for some of those tornadic thunderstorms, especially in that 5% category.
Yeah, 5% is decently high for around here.
Yeah, and it's a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a point.
So yeah, just 5%. So still a very low risk.
Right.
in terms of the risks that we normally see with tornadoes. Again, kind of in that low to medium category. Severe winds, again, 15% again, so damaging wind gusts going to be an issue as storms kind of line up. Hail kind of looks like it could be the biggest issue here, and again, Brad, you mentioned it, 3-inch diameter hail is going to be a possibility with storms tonight. That's about the size of a baseball, a little bigger than a baseball.
That's right. So again, not every thunderstorm will produce that size of hail, but again, the potential is there for large hail in that red shaded area. And again, you can see Lincoln is kind of on the edge of that. Lincoln, Beatrice towards Omaha, Nebraska City. So that's the best chance to see the largest hail.
So right now, things are, again, fairly quiet, mostly cloudy for Lincoln and eastern parts of the state. Again, that front is right on our doorstep, moisture kind of pooling ahead. So if we're running through SkyCast, again, our in-house model, just kind of one representation of what the potential is for tonight. It keeps things pretty quiet here over the next couple hours. Towards the 6 o'clock hour is when it begins to really pop stuff up, or 5 o'clock, I should say. And it pops it up just to our east and our southeast, Brad. So it's down kind of towards Pawnee and Johnson counties.
And like you said, this is one representation. I do think it's possible that we could see some storms developing in the Lincoln area down into Saline County, Jefferson County. So again, Lincoln is technically on the edge of that enhanced, so we certainly could see storms developing in the Lincoln area and then moving off to the northeast. But I do think you're right. I think the best chance for severe thunderstorms will be far eastern and southeastern sections of the state as the storms get more organized as they move east and to the southeast or southeast Nebraska and moving to the east northeast. The storms will be doing that.
And so our in-house model, again, from 5 till 9, again, it has some of those strong storms, but it really quickly pushes them out of the region. So again, by 9 o'clock tonight, there's not a whole lot going on. I also want to pull up, Brad, this is our rapid refresh model. So we can take a look at that one as well. So that's 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So again, similar position, maybe just developing those storms just to our east. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So again, and a lot of that's already pushed east out of the area. So again, tonight's one of those nights where I kind of wonder if the Storm Prediction Center knows something that we don't.
Well,
but the threat is there. The ingredients are all there for the potential for numerous severe thunderstorms.
And again, it's the timing of that of the cold front moving through. If it moves through a little bit earlier, maybe a little more stable air moves into the Lincoln area, we don't see as much severe weather anyway, and it develops into the eastern and southeastern portions of the state. Again, that being said, until we get like any further new information, we're still technically on that line of enhanced. So people in Lincoln still need to pay attention to your phone or your TV as we head this afternoon, social media, streaming services from 10/11 to see if we end up with any kind of watch or tornado watch, which will probably will be likely, at least for southeast Nebraska, later today, and to see if Lincoln will be included in that. So right now, as we saw, a couple of models suggesting that maybe the main event will be just to the east of Lincoln. But again, don't let your guard down because we still have at least that chance for some severe thunderstorms in the Lincoln area late this afternoon, this evening.
And have multiple ways to get your weather information. Again, download that 1011 Now weather app. It's a great tool to have. I will probably be on here for a good chunk of the evening, again, covering storms and severe weather. Ken and Brandon and I believe producer Ryan Swanigan are going to be covering storms as well. I think producer Ryan is going to have the weather shield out tonight. I know he's pretty tickled about that. He always likes getting.
He's very excited about that. Yes.
So we'll have all the coverage tonight. So again, just tune in on air and online, and we'll have you covered.
That's right. We'll have the latest information at noon today on 10/11 as well.
Okay, I'll really quickly. I don't think I've seen them issue that new SPC Outlook yet. So.
Yeah, it'll probably be coming in the next few minutes. I'll be posting some stuff on social media as soon as it comes out, and of course the update at noon.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brad, I appreciate you jumping back and helping us out. Appreciate everyone for watching again. We have multiple ways to get your weather information tonight, and hope everyone has a nice. Is it Wednesday?
It is a Wednesday.
Is it all day?
It will be all day until midnight Central Time.
Appreciate that, Brad. Hope everyone has a nice Wednesday, and we'll see you later.
Take care.